All right, you're on.
What do you want to know?
You're on.
He showed up October 19th, and then he was there a lot, and then he left. And I'm about to pull all my hair out.
How mad does it make you?
Really mad. He first started showing up at my food plot. This is my first picture, October 19th. And I bent down this tree, and he's been hammering these 2 scrapes I put in. And it was like ever since the 19th, he was coming in, like this is the 19th, 22nd, 23rd. Pretty much he was coming in like 25th, like every other night, most nights pretty much. And feeding around my food plot, hitting these scrapes. And I'm like, man, this is perfect. As soon as the weather gets right, it's going to be game on. So he keeps showing up. And this was, let's see, this was November 5th. This was the evening that we killed Bane. He shows up at like 4 p.m. in the middle of my food plot. So he comes in my food plot, hammers that scrape, walks around for a few minutes, and like makes another rub. And when Drew and I got this pictures and videos, we were like, all right, this is what we've been waiting for. Game on. He's coming. And he hasn't shown up. It's November 11th. He hasn't shown up since November 5th on the food plot. And it's been really frustrating because I thought that we had this deer pegged, had a great plan, but clearly this deer is a lot smarter than your average deer. I mean, that's probably the reason why he's probably 8.5 years old and as big as he is. I mean, this deer's been 170 inches the last 4 years, so he's learned to survive. So I was getting frustrated. We were hunting, and then Drew and I just pretty much knew like he was not there. So I literally pulled all of my covert cell cams and have gone. I've got a lot of spots kind of on the outskirts of this deer's core area that I started bombarding all these areas, launched all my cameras at these places I've had permission for years, and got like one picture of him on one of my spots, like across another road, which gave me like a clue of kind of where he was at. But I still wasn't seeing him. That was like 3 days ago. And I was beginning to really worry that this deer was like miles away, because these deer will travel long, long ways to find the does they're going to go after in the rut. And I went to get a new spot today on the opposite side of the neighborhood. They didn't say yes, but I asked if I could put a camera out, and they said sure. So I walked down to this bottom, and I see a couple does hop up and take off running, and I'm just standing there kind of looking around. And then on the opposite ridge, I hear a deer get up, and this doe and Zeus were standing like 70 yards from me on this ridge. Hunting these deer, it's all about like piecing the puzzle together. I feel like I got a huge piece of the puzzle today, so I'm really pumped about it. If I can get in this block of woods, I think we can kill him in a few days.
Oh, well, that was a complete disaster. Man, I've had a tough go at it.
You talk to the people that you need to?
I just talked to one guy that was a kind of a jerk about it, but he was like, I guess someone shot a deer out here like a couple years ago, and it ran into someone else's yard, and he was like it was a huge issue in this neighborhood. And he's like, I'll speak on behalf of everyone in the neighborhood. No. I mean,
Are you going to stay out there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to stay out here until dark. I mean, my goal is to get a stand-up today. So I've got like a couple houses that haven't answered. And I've got like two houses that I'm waiting to hear from. And I'm going to stay here until I can get a hold of the couple other houses.
Okay.
And as soon as those people let me know, which I'm hopeful they will, then I'll literally go hang a stand like in the pouring rain, because it's dumping rain right now. And I'm really hopeful, like this one house, if I get this one house, I should have a really good spot. This is the money house. If I get this, it's done. Boom, baby!
Yep.
All right, so the house that I was waiting for them to get home.
Yeah.
They just got home from like a camping trip. That's the house where I saw Zeus. It was in their backyard where I saw Zeus. He was like right up against their fence.
Yeah.
I just got that spot.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
So I've actually got like 2 houses that back up to each other now. I'm gonna go ahead and get this stand up so that we can, if this rain holds off, maybe we can hunt in the morning. All right, so I'm walking out the first spot I got, and it's gonna be kind of tight. It kind of sucks. Most of their backyard is fenced in, but I've got another lot right here that might be better. But right here in these cut down pines, these branches right here, this is the exact spot where he was bedded down yesterday with that doe. Probably stick a camera here, and then I'll probably go to that other spot that's, I think is going to be better. Put a camera over there too. All right, we're at property number 2 right now, and I'm not sure how to get down. Actually looks like a pretty good little spot. If he's here, I should have a pretty good little angle surrounding him. So I'm at the my 3rd and final spot that I've gotten over here where I had that encounter with Zeus. This spot looks way better to me than the others. It's got like a little flat bottom part here that backs up to this creek. It's actually touching my other spot with the fence. So I've got some room to work with here. Really thick pines, and I saw a buck bedded down over there when I was at my other spot, but this is a lot better. I got some trees I think I can get in. Get my camera out here, put in a mock scrape, and probably let my cameras tell me what to do for the next couple days, and then I'll kind of decide where to put in a stand, and we'll take it from there. What's going on is that I spent like the last 3 days locating Zeus, literally knocking on every single house that backed up to where I saw him. Ended up getting 3 different spots over there, and they're not ideal, but I got it done, put in my cameras, put in scrapes, and he shows up on one of my cameras early last night at like probably 8:30 p.m. And so I'm like, oh great, like I'm gonna go hang a stand this afternoon and we'll hunt over there. And then like 30 minutes later, he shows back up at my original food plot where we've been hunting him, where he hasn't showed up in like a week and a half. So we're going back to the original starting point where the food plot is, and I'm hoping that he's bedded down with those does in there.
It's November 15th, and Zeus is still playing mind games with me. He showed up yesterday at one of my other spots that I don't have stands, and spent all yesterday trying to get that spot, get the right permission over there, and get some stands up. And so Drew and I elected not to hunt, and of course he shows up in the stands that I hung that day that we were planning on hunting. And so I've been kind of having this inner battle of like, do I just have a spread of like 3 or 4 different stands that I can go hunt, or do I just pick one spot and stick with it? And I've talked with Drew, I've talked with Jay. We've both decided to stick with one spot, and we're going with this one because of all the places, this is where we're seeing him the most.